Welcome to a presentation for advancers. This one is on weak twos in 3 suits, and those suits are diamonds, hearts and spades. 2 clubs then means either a strong 2 in a suit, that's 20 or around there, high card points, and or 8 playing tricks. And it can also mean the 23 point plus hand. So before we go much further, let's have a look at the rules that apply for weak twos. We'll look at the do's and we'll look at the don'ts. The do's. You need a 6 card suit to bid at weak 2. You need 5 to 10 points, and you need decent suit quality, 2 of the top 5. In other words, 2 from ace, king, queen, jack or 10. And we rate the suit quality as good, as reasonable, and then as poor, which are also termed as aggressive. There are occasions when you will deliberately choose to use an aggressive poor hand. You must also have the majority of points in your weak 2 suit, not in outside suits. Now the don'ts. You never use weak 2s in the 4th seat. You don't use weak 2s if you have a side 4 card major. It's very, very rare, but you shouldn't do it. And you should always use the rule of 20, i.e. opening at the 1 level before you bid a preemptive weak 2. So let's have a look at the influence of vulnerability and the seating on a weak 2 bid. If you're non-vulnerable, then you can use from quite low range to 10, 5 to 10, and your suit quality has to be reasonable. However, in the 3rd seat, this is when I was talking about using fairly weak hands, you can be aggressive, and when you are vulnerable it changes. Your point range now has to be 7 to 10 in the top half, if you like. Your suit quality has to be good now. It has to be quite good. When you're in the 3rd seat, you're again a bit more aggressive, so you use the full range of the point range. But again, the quality has to be good. The quality in your weak 2 suit has to be good. So let's have a look at some examples. Here we've got a hand, it's got 7 points, it's got 3 of the top 5, so we'd term that good quality. This hand has fewer points, but it has 2 of the top 3, so again we would consider that reasonably good. So can you see that it's not just points, and it's a mixture of points and quality that determines whether you're going to bid a weak 2. And here's a hand, it's got 9 points, it's got 3 of the top 5, so again, it's a good quality suit. So, to summarise, good is either 2 of the top 3, or 3 of the top 5, and you're in the top half of the points, the upper range of your points. Let's have a look a bit more. This hand, it's got 10 points. It's got more points, but the quality is very poor. So it also has points outside. So you have to be very careful about how you would use that hand. And this hand, it's only got 5 points. It's poor quality. It'd be okay to use in the 3rd seat. So when you're non-vulnerable. So this is what I mean about an aggressive overcall. So remember the rules. 6 points, good quality, but it has a side 4 card major. We wouldn't use a weak 2. This hand has 10 points, good quality suit. However, it obeys the rule of 20, and you'd open a 1 heart with that hand. So let's now turn to responding to a weak 2. You know immediately when your partner bids it that it is a 6 card suit, and more often than not you will pass, just as you would a preemptive 3. It is a preemptive bid. However, with 3 card support, 6 and 3, you bid to the level of fit, the law of total trumps. So when competing, just assume that the opener has 7 points and 8 losers, and then you can assess whether the opposition have the points. So you also have to consider the vulnerability. Will the opposition double your bid? So with 15 or more points, it's a different response. You start asking questions of your partner. We'll come to that in a minute. Let's deal with the easy ones. Well, the easiest one of all is passing. However, here we go. We open 2 hearts. North passes on this hand. And now we're going to consider our bid. We assume West has 7. We as East have 8. So North-South have game. So we bid on to the level of fit. 6 plus 3. West must have 6. We have 3. We can bid up to 9 tricks. In other words, on this hand, you could bid 3 hearts. Let's change the scenarios a little. In this case, North bids. They have a very good 2-spade overcall. East goes through the same computation and bids to the level of fit, 3. Don't be tempted to bid 4 and try and bounce them out. The chances are you're just going to push them into game when they may not bid it. So, on the assumption that West has 7 points and you have 8, then North-South do have game. Then keep it low and hope they don't bid on. So responding to a weak 2, let's recap on the major points. More often than not, you will pass. It is a preemptive bid. With 3 card support, you bid to the level of fit, the law of total trumps. And very rarely, you will have 15 or more points and you make an inquiry on the strength of your opener's hand. You are going to ask about points and quality. And the bid that you use to make that inquiry is 2 no trumps. So we'll look at the openers and responders' responses. Opener may respond to a 2 no trump inquiry to show 5 to 7 points by just rebidding their suit at the 3 level. They're saying, we're not going anywhere with this, let's pass. And the responder would pass, and you play it 3 rather than 2. The second occurrence would be that you have 2 of the top 3 honours, when you would bid 3 NT. And again, in all probability, responder will pass, unless they have a lot of that particular weak suit. And then the third case will be you have the top half, very top half of the points, 8 to 10, when you bid 3 of your best outside suit. And now, responder is going to bid game, but must choose whether to advance the suit or play in 3 NT. They'll have to look at their hand to decide. Now, occasionally, you will open with a stronger hand, the kind of hand that you would have opened a strong 2 in. So something like this, with 17 points. Now you just open it at the 1 level, and you bid game if partner supports you, and you rebid 3. You jump raise, you're going over your barrier if partner changes suit. And if the opposition get in, then you bid diamonds at the lowest level. Here's another example. 18 points. We're going to evaluate the shape and supported honours, and we're going to uprate it. I'm going to call it at least 20 and give it a 2 club call, and then rebid it as if it were a strong 2. Okay. So recapping on that, with 6 cards, 5 to 10 points, 2 of the top 5, no 4 card major, and not the rule of 20, you can open a weak 2. More often than not, responder will pass. It's a preemptive bid, but with 3 card support, they bid to the level of the fit, the law of total trumps. Considering seat and vulnerability, then never use a weak 2 in the 4th seed. And then rarely you will have 15 or more points as responder, and you make that 2NT inquiry asking opener for a comment on their points and quality. So recap, asking for the points and quality with 2NT, opener with 5 to 7 they rebid the suit and the responder passes. With 2 of the top 3 honours they bid 3NT, responder passes. And with 8 to 10 points, but not necessarily the top 2 of 3 honours, you bid 3 of your best outside suit, and then responder has to choose whether bid game into suit or no trumps. And just recall that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So just remember that the road to hell is paved with good conventions. Make sure that you agree it with your partner and practice. And in order for you to practice, I have supplied 24 hands. Thank you very much. Good luck with your week 2s.